Kennita calling in
Yes.
from California.
Yes. Hi.
How's it going?
Basically, it's going pretty good, I think. Nice day today. So I'm thinking that there probably aren't extraterrestrials here, at least not from any civilizations that could get to us, because there aren't enough stars close to us for anybody to have noticed that we were here and come to find out what was going on. I mean, we've only had radio for a little over 100 years, and even at the speed of light, they would have to say, "Ooh, there's somebody there," and come. And since I believe in relativity, it would have taken them at least that long to get here.
Right.
But probably, I mean, that would be only the stars that are nearby. And there aren't, relatively speaking, that many of them. Most of the stars are hundreds of or thousands of light years away. And civilizations mostly don't last that long. So if there are extraterrestrials here, they were probably AIs. Basically, when the civilization had technology that was more advanced than ours, they sent AI emissaries out to say, look out there and see what's out in the rest of the universe. And, and send a message back. But it wouldn't be somebody who was hanging out in, our solar system waiting to pounce. Right.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, it had to be non-organic life, basically. Yeah. Exactly. I think that there's a logic to that. I think that follows. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that, I am trying to find some way that it could be possible that we're not alone in the universe. But, I don't know as the things that people are seeing are what they are saying they are. But it's possible that there's something there. But, it's, I'm thinking probably, it would be from a civilization that had already disappeared, right? I mean, if it had been thousands of years ago, like it would be like the Egyptians, if they had interstellar travel, had sent things out. The civilization would, the message would get here and they'd say, hey, there's somebody out here. And it'd be like, you're talking to people who don't even speak the language that you were speaking when you sent the message.
So, or isn't even there anymore.
Yeah.
No, that would make sense. That's interesting. I haven't really thought about that too much. This is seeing is.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, what do you think, Puck? No, give me your thoughts.
I mean, no, this is my personal answer to the Fermi paradox, is that in a universe the size that it is, chances are that the building blocks of life had gotten together somewhere and had an amino acid party, and there's life somewhere out there, but it's probably so far away from us that it's functionally useless. So until you do solve dilemmas like, FTL travel, we're probably never going to hear from them. Kennita, are you familiar with Mozart's The Magic Flute?
No. Well, I mean, I'm familiar with the music, but I don't know anything about the mythology, if there is any.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the mythology. I'm talking about the actual opera. So Voyager, I don't know if you remember this, but Voyager was sent with a gold record that had a number of songs from Earth on there. They had like Bach, goodness, I couldn't tell you what all the Beethoven's Fifth is on there, Bach's Well-Tempered Clavier, and the Magic Flute. And it makes me wonder if the average person on Earth would even know these songs, so that if some extraterrestrial intelligence did discover this and brought it back to Earth and say, hey guys, we totally love your music, it goes back to what you're saying. It's like nobody here even would know how the Magic Flute goes. So it's fascinating that you're thinking along those lines.
Well, and if they played some piece that was really popular back when there were Egyptians, no clue what their music sounded like, right?
See,
So
yeah.
And the Magic Flute's not
if-
even that old, so yeah.
If I was
get
in
it.
charge of that, I would have put totally different music on there. Just FYI, I would have put the theme to Space Jam. I would have probably put a few Daft Punk songs. I mean, my taste would just be all over the place on that one. But anyway, yeah, and I think that's really interesting. I haven't really seen or thought much about the possibility that everything we're seeing is just completely AI. I'm sure smarter than people than me have thought more about it, but yeah, that's kind of a new one for me. That's cool. I never thought about it like that, but yeah, that makes sense. If faster than light travel, like we're saying, the problems there are, solvable, and it isn't, the likelihood of organic life being more minimal, it would make more sense for it to be non-organic life that we're seeing, or just, something mechanical in nature. So maybe that's
to figure out. I was trying to figure out the whole faster than light thing. It's like, because if you start talking about faster than light, all bets are off. I mean, how fast can you get from here to any number of the stars that we can see, right? Because most of them are like 500,000 light years away.
right.
Well, could they get here in 10 years or 100 years? I don't know.
This was like a wormhole travel or something, or they came from a different dimension. But I don't know. That's just
and that's that, and because as a scientist, it's like, well, we're kind of stuck with 4 most of the time. But I remember seeing quantum, Bohemian gravity. It's like, oh, well, there were 10 dimensions, but in order to get rid of for anomaly cancellation, we have to get down to 4D. It's like, what? Okay, my brain pretty much explodes at that point.
Yeah, my
You're
brain is
making me
not,
want to look up Bohemian Dimensions right now, though. I definitely want to look that up after the show.
my brain was not meant to study physics. My brain was more suited for Collins shows and references to 90s popular movies. So I stay in my lane for the most part, I think. But anyway, Kennita, I'm glad you called in. Thank you so much for that call, and thank you for that interesting insights there. Appreciate you calling in. Hope you have a good rest of your night. Speaking of the magic flute, by the way, that brought me back, because when I was in high school, I had to do a report on the magic flute for my orchestra class. I did violin. Well, I still play violin, but I was violinist for a while. And I remember that thing not making any sense, like something about how there was a sphinx, but it was in like a forest or something, right? Isn't there a forest?
It's been too long. I don't recall that yet. I just remember, just for some crazy reason, I remember some of the songs that are on that golden record. You remember the golden record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See,
no,
you know
it's
what
cool.
I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's cool. But if I found that thing, I wouldn't know what. I mean, I wouldn't know what to do with it now.
Right.
I don't know. I guess that's for people smarter than me to figure out.